Howdy folks, it's your friend Fishing with Dom, and with Christmas coming up just around the corner, I'm going to bring you this video today to share with you a few ideas on what you might be able to get someone for Christmas that is an angler or outdoorsman in general. This doesn't just go for fishermen and fisher people, but all outdoor enthusiasts. So I've got a list and a collection of stuff right here on the pile. I'm just going to pull it out one by one and show you, and hopefully this will give you an idea. Now, a lot of the stuff I'm going to show you might be kind of small, but think of it like this. If you got a whole bunch of little things to give this person as a gift basket, it'd be a pretty solid present. It'd be very thoughtful. And first off on the list, I'm just going to power through a whole bunch of these. Oil, lubricating oil. Whether it's generic lubricating oil from the auto parts store or specific gun oil. If you're a fisherman, oil, it's worth its weight in gold pretty much, because fishermen, they have to do maintenance on their reels, so oil, it works out. And oil is multi-purpose too. They can use it around the house with any intention they have in mind, not just fishing related. If they own a gun and they have gun oil, they can use it on their reels and on their firearm. Now next, I'm going to show you this. Rod holders. If you are buying a present for somebody who might shore fish, especially if they're catfish angler like me, rod holders, especially ones that are big enough. Make sure that if you're going to get somebody a rod holder, that their rods are going to actually be able to fit inside of them. I had to up mine to the larger size because I have larger catfish rods now. But all in all, if you get somebody rod holders, they're going to get put to use, because I guarantee you this. I might have 10 of these sitting around the house, but I never know where there's a stash of every single one of them. So the more the merrier you have, the more you have ready to go at any given time. Now, if this person on your Secret Santa list fillets their fish, fillet knife in general doesn't have to be electric. A Rapala fishing fillet knife or an electric Ozark Trail like this one, or the Mr. Twister or the Rapala knife, you can't go wrong. A good fillet knife is a fantastic present. I got this 2 years ago from my girlfriend's parents. It's an Ozark Trail, just the Walmart brand electronic fillet knife. I really like it. The tips have stayed sharp on it very well, and I've sawed through a lot of walleyes with this. And this is pretty cheap too. I want to say this is right around $2, or not $2. I'd say around $20 or so. It's solid fillet knife. Solid fillet knife. Now, next thing up, by a product made by Scentaway. It's called Fish Away. Get the glare off the screen there. I'm working in a new studio now, and I've been playing with the different lights, so forgive me if things are a little off-putting on screen. But Fish Away. Say you go out fishing for a while, you got some nasty smell on your hands, you rub this on there, just like this, and just like that, the scent's gone. See? Smells really good now. That'd be a good present for somebody. Now, these aren't paid advertisements that I'm about to show you. These are just products I firmly believe in. For those of you wishing to buy something for maybe a fisherman who uses braid, like a musky fisherman or salmon fisherman or a heavy cover bass fisherman, this Berkley Hotline Cutter is a very handy deal. I keep this with me whenever I'm using braid, because all this thing does is cut line, but it does it very quickly, because you slide up on this button and this wire that comes out gets very hot. It turns bright red and it burns through your line and essentially cauterizes it instantly, so you don't get frays at the end of your knot, and you can almost precisely trim your line on where you want it to end. So $10. I'll put the link for this in the description. Just requires 2 AAA batteries. I really dig this Hotline Cutter that Berkley put out. But then I also dig this line stripper that Berkley came out with a few years ago, and it hasn't caught on in popularity for whatever reason it may be. But when you look at it, it's got a hole coming in right here and a hole coming out the other side. If you are unspooling your rods and reels, you just weave your line through here, hold that button, and then You point this end into the garbage can where you want your old fishing line to go, and it'll spool it for you in under a minute most of the time, depending on the reel size. Fantastic little gadget right here. Runs on 2 AAA batteries. I really dig this setup. I absolutely love it. Now, and also this stone on the top right here, you can see it spinning around. This is also a hook sharpener. So take that into consideration. Hook sharpener, line stripper. Pardon me there. All in all, if they're a fisherman and they're catching larger fish like muskie or big catfish that get weighed, a scale. Scales work just fine. A scale, you can get these at the hardware store, you can get these in the fishing department. Very, very cheap. Always something good to have. You can never have too many scales. It seems like whenever I need one, there's never one around. And then getting down to the last little bit of stuff here. Tools you can get at the hardware shop. If the person you're buying for doesn't have a nice pocket knife, like this buck knife I've got right here, about $35, $40 or so, quality knife. I always take it with me out into the bush. You never know when I'm going to need it. But if I don't have my knife, it's no big deal, because every single time I hit the woods, I make sure I have a multi-tool with me. Now, whether it be this one, my Sheffield, a Gerber, or a Leatherman. I have a Leatherman also, and I really, really like it. But multi-tools, they're so handy, because when I catch fish, I'm going to need pliers to get the hook out. And you never know when you're going to need a screwdriver, a blade, a serrated blade to cut through thicker stuff, a can opener, all this good stuff that comes with a multi-tool. Being a fisherman, you can get a lot of it. A lot of use out of it. I highly recommend this out of everything I'm sharing in this video, because a multi-tool, it serves many different purposes, and when you're fishing, you have a lot of opportunity to shine and put this bad lad to use. Multi-tool, remember that. That's a big one. Almost down to the last bit. Now let's talk like this. Lighting. As a fisherman, especially as a night fisherman, you need good lights. These little Coleman lights or Energizer lights, just like this one, you can get them anywhere. Hardware store, tackle shop, any super center. Lights that clip onto your hat like this. You turn them on, and it allows me to be able to fish better at night. Now, some people like the ones that clip on the hat, and some people like the ones that just strap around your head, just like this. Now, whatever their preference is, lights are awesome presents. I use these a lot when I'm salmon fishing at night up north. And all in all, if I'm messing around the house and I need a light in a hard place, I'm generally going to use a headlamp like this. So think, around the house, doing stuff at night, a headlamp makes very, very practical use, especially if they're into hiking or whatever it might be. At night, it's good to go. But there's that. I'm going to take this light off so it's not a distraction. And then here's some smaller things you can grab somebody who might be a fisherman or outdoorsman. Just tiny accessories. Like, you can get a little sharpening stone like this for fillet knives anywhere you go for just a few dollars. Tape measures. Little, just, 10 to 12 foot tape measures, just like this one right here. You can never have too many of them. I always keep one in my car, one in my tackle box, and one in my tackle bag that I carry with me everywhere. I never know when I'm going to need to measure a fish, because there will be times, and there has been times, where I've needed a tape measure and I didn't have one. And then the last little thing I'll show you that you could get an angler in your life, especially if they were using thicker lines and super lines like braids. Precision line cutting scissors. Now, these aren't just regular scissors that cut through line. These scissors, these are made by Berkeley. They have little teeth on the edge of them, so they snip through all types of line, no problem whatsoever. They'll cut through braid, they'll cut through thick mono. Just a few dollars on berkeleyfishing.com, but if you check out any fishing department store, they're going to have sharp line-specific scissors. And I recommend checking these out, definitely. It's a game changer. The Hotline Cutter, that works great too. But hey, you can't beat the good old-fashioned scissors. But if you get some of these things, like say you got someone the scissors, a tape measure, a sharpening stone, and a headlight, and some Scentaway, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 presents right here that you can make a little goodie bag out of. And it'd be a very, very thoughtful and very practical goodie bag. And there's all sorts of other ideas I've presented you so far that aren't really expensive that you can get for somebody who's a fisherman. But the Scentaway, the light, the scissors, the measuring tape, whatever it may be, at the end of the day, it's the thought that counts. But this is just a rundown, just a few basics of the basics that I wanted to share with y'all today when it comes to what you should be giving as gifts for an outdoor enthusiast or fisher person when you yourself might not exactly know anything about it. Now, people question me about this quite a bit when I worked at a department store. Oh, I don't know anything about fishing. What should I get them? I made this video for y'all, and I hope you enjoyed it. But if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, I would appreciate you reaching out to me in the comment section below or on my social media handles, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Fishing with Dom. I would very much appreciate it. But until next time, I'm Fishing with Dom. I'm still waiting for somebody to suggest a name for this guy right here. So if you have a name for him, holler at me. I just might send you something in the mail. But take it easy. Thanks for watching, and have a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.